We're back. Another
Once
episode
again.
of season 3. Welcome, fellas. Hello. Say hello. My name's Kevin, joined by James and Joe.
Hello, my name's Kevin, joined by James and Joe. You said say hello.
I'm not responding to that.
Well,
That was a weak joke. I'm starting over. Hello. No.
Kevin goes.
Start
That
over.
was so bad. That was so bad that we're
James,
starting over
you're
and
not
James is
funny.
leaving. Yeah. You're done. Okay. So, back with another episode, season 3. Let's go. We're trucking along. We had an exciting film this week. Probably one of the best films we've watched.
I
for
hate
the
everything about
podcast
you.
so far. Truly a masterpiece, if I do say so myself. But this week we watched Intrusion, the 2021 Netflix film. It's an American psychological thriller film directed by Adam Salke, written by Christopher Sparling, starring Frida Pinto and Logan Marshall Green. Before we get into the first reactions, please, if you guys are enjoying our content, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Really going to help us out with growing our following, growing a base, so we can keep putting out solid content. So head on over to the YouTube channel if you're listening to it. If you're watching it, just click the subscribe button. It's right there. Just click subscribe. It doesn't cost you any money, and it really helps us out. So, fellas, with that, James, what did you think? Caught you in a sip. What did you think of this masterpiece, Intrusion?
To use your own terms, Kevin, it's stinky duty. This one sucks ass. It doesn't have a lot going for it. Doesn't really have a logical plot. Doesn't really have believable characters. The production value is pretty good. But everything else was pretty bad. Everything. The acting was bad. The writing wasn't good. So it was bad. It was... Joey? Joe.
As soon as Kevin picked this movie, I was like, oh God, why are we watching this? But I think I wrote probably 50 notes in my book on this one, and
Jeez.
45 of them are about how much I hate the male character of this movie. From the very beginning was his cheesy writing, his toxic masculinity. He's an asshole. There's no chemistry. He's bad acting, bad writing. Just a lot of bad things about him. And I can say I enjoy a good thriller, psychological thriller. We've not watched too many on here, but they're one of my favorite genres. This was not it. This is an official Kevin rating of trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100%. This movie was terrible. I knew going into it too it was going to be bad. That's kind of why I picked it. I thought it would be funny to watch. And it indeed was so bad that it's funny. It is one of those where you're watching this and you cannot believe what the fuck how this movie got made. So many plot holes. So many just terribly written. The writing, I'm so sorry, and I've said this before, I hate talking shit on people doing what they're passionate about, and but man, the writing was so bad, and I feel bad to talk shit on the writers, but man, you gotta figure something out, man.
Says the man who just spent an hour shitting on the writing, acting, directing, editing.
I can shit on Adam McKay and his crew of people writing a movie, but I feel bad when it's this dude who's written just nothing.
He's got nothing,
And
yeah.
he finally gets some big gig, and it's
And
that might not be it, dude. That might not be it.
Maybe you go back to your other job.
Yeah, if you have a track record of making good movies and then you put out a shit one, I'll talk shit. If you don't have any track record and you're working really hard, I feel bad talking shit, but dude, it sucked.
This movie didn't make any goddamn sense.
But I think it was definitely fun to watch because it was bad. I think it was kind of fell in that range for me where I just had to laugh. There were times where I just put my hands my head into my hands, and I was like, "What is going on?" But right off the bat, it's bad. I texted you guys to see if anybody didn't watch it yet, because in the first 5 minutes, I knew it was going to be so bad that we might need to watch something else. James, thank you. I'm glad you were already done the movie.
It was too late.
It was too late. But yeah, Intrusion was pretty terrible. Based on those, I think I know where everyone's going to be at. But Joe, are you pressing play or are you scrolling?
I will say this in defense of
Do
the
not.
movie, because
No. I'm usually the one that's like,
I'm
I'm usually the one that's
No.
let's frame the car fire so it looks nicer. Like, it's okay, it did this. This one, I'm sorry, it was bad.
I will preface this. I'm gonna keep scrolling. However, my second biggest fear, we all know my first biggest fear at this point. My second biggest fear is a home invasion with
True.
multiple people trying to not only rob but kill me. So it did hit a little nerve there in the beginning, and I was kind of excited that there was hope for this movie, and it fell flat repeatedly. So I'm gonna keep scrolling on this one.
You just gotta get a tree gun, like that guy. He's got a tree gun that protected him. I know my rights. And I'm allowed to have a tree gun.
Let's talk. I don't want to talk about it too much, but like, you're gonna hide your gun in a fucking tree? Like,
Do you
what?
know how
Like,
much of a
that's
fucking-
the worst spot to hide that gun, dude.
Can you
Like,
think about,
in
think
the
about
middle
it
of the
like
hallway?
this. Think about it like this. I have to traverse my mansion of a house to this one tree
To
right
the big
near a
glass
window.
windows.
And then I have to do this. While I'm hiding from the burglar, I have to do this. Okay, I found the gun.
you have to go to the shed, get one of those little like
Spade
planter shovels.
yeah.
The little hand.
The tree dies, and you accidentally throw away the gun. Like,
So funny. So fucking dumb. This movie is definitely worth. So are we do? I'm assuming, Joe, you just said keep scrolling. I'm just gonna roll
Yeah,
with
it's
that.
your turn.
I'm also gonna keep scrolling. But this movie may be fun while imbibing. Enjoy responsibly, but this one sucked. Kevin.
Yeah, I'm gonna scroll too, unless you're one of those just psychopaths like I am sometimes, where you watch a movie just because you know it's terrible. Like, you watch it for the entertainment factor of like, how did this movie get made? So if you like that, then watch this movie. It's pretty comically bad. But no, like, don't watch this movie to actually be entertained by a movie. Like, you're psychotic. I feel like an idiot for picking this movie, even though I knew it was going to be bad.
I was gonna say, this is a movie I would pick.
Yeah, this is a movie. Yeah, Joe would pick, thinking is going to be so good, and we're like, what are we watching?
You mean like Hypnotic?
And the girl on the tree.
Yeah, the girl on the
Damn.
train.
Joe, you're absolutely knocking it out of the park here.
In my defense, I don't think that they're going to be these masterpieces. I'm hoping that there's some creative, minute genius in there, that there's a good plot twist at the end. And all three of those movies that the first two I picked, this one Kev picked, I fell flat. So I'm happy that Kev
Looks
picked this
like
one and not me.
shit, smells like shit.
Probably
You know?
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Do you know how many times I feel like every time we talk about this podcast, I want to make the joke. Like, I think I made this joke on at least 2 other podcasts where I just go, the diamond in the rough from Aladdin.
Yes.
At some point, when we make it big here, I want a shirt that has that thing. And it's just like, it has like a Flix Fellas on it. That's what I want. That's my new goal. It's my new life goal. Listeners, make it happen. Subscribe.
Speaking of, before we get to the commercial, check out our Patreon page. It's up and running. We got a couple tiers with a couple different rewards, a few tiers. We have a great community Discord that you can join where we'll hang out, play video games. You can request movies, things of that nature. So if you are enjoying this content, it is a low Patreon tiers. Like, they're not crazy expensive, but anything helps and helps us, keep improving our content and making better content and doing something we love. So if you're entertained by this and you enjoy watching it, please consider going and subscribing to our Patreon. The links, I guess it's just patreon.com. Do you guys have the URL /
We'll put it in the
Flix
description
Fellas?
of the video.
We'll put it in the description, yeah. And yeah, so go subscribe there. Meanwhile, the other people who are supporting this podcast, our sponsors, will give us a quick word, and we will be back with the spoilers to this. Should I even call it a movie, or should I call it someone's like fucking college project?
Let's call it what it is. It's trash.
We'll be back to talk about the trash.